Hello and welcome to the Coles 2019 Athletics ACT State Championships. My name is Lachlan Rayner. I'm down here at the Australian Institute of Sport Athletics track. Standing alongside me and in the commentary box throughout the three-day championships is Michael Massini. Thank you for coming up to Canberra for this event.
No worries. Come from sunny Melbourne to get the clouds from here in Canberra, but I think we've got some pretty good weather coming across the weekend at least.
It was actually a grouse day. We were here setting up in the morning. It was 30 degrees, nice and sunshine. Come to about 3:30 and thunderstorms came through, but we think we're not going to get too much rain during the 2 hours of play for this evening, and then tomorrow and Sunday should be good. But we'll get straight into competition tonight. We've got a couple of events on the track that we're going to be looking forward to, and as well some of the younger athletes in their field. But so first up, we've got the 3,000 and 5,000 metre walk. We've got the 400 metre hurdles as well. Lauren Wells is in that competition. She competed here a few weeks ago. Tell us a little bit about Lauren and what she's up to now.
Yeah, well, Lauren's multiple-time Australian representative, expert over the 400 hurdles. She was the youngest woman, actually, I found out during the week, to win the Open Nationals. So she's always a fierce competitor over those 400 metre hurdles. Going to be very hard to beat tonight.
Yeah, and we can see on screen right now, this is the event from only 2 weeks ago here in sunny Canberra. I think they had wet conditions there as well. We can see Lauren going down the back straight. She was challenged and did come second in this race here, but we don't expect her to, we expect her to do quite well at this state championships this weekend and tonight. So we'll see her go through here as she does come down into the front straight. She's challenged right here at the end. We'll watch this video through to the end, but we do have also on the program the shot put under 18 and under 20 men, long jump under 14 and under 16, and para. In the female, we do have the discus throw under 14, under 16, and females as well. We'll turn our attention to the 800 metres. So we've got the 800 metre finals tonight as well. Standout in that list is Mason Cohen. Had some great runs in the last few weeks. In particular, we were down at for with the 800 in the favourite position.
Yeah, absolutely. But his teammate, Jai Perrott, as well. You see him with the red hair just on the outside of Joseph Deng and Peter Bowl. He's in the race as well. He's going to be making Mason Cohen absolutely work for it, I think, tonight. So it'll be a very interesting race.
Yes, and we'll turn our attention to the field events. So we do have a para-athlete competing in the long jump.
Yeah, so Nicholas Hum, actually a Rio Paralympian. So we've got a few Australian representatives tonight, but it's great to see some of our Paralympians out here competing at the ACT State Championships.
Okay, well, Raf, I think you're up there in the commentary box. We're going to throw to a few shots as we do get ready to get underway in the 3,000 and 5,000 metre walks at 6:15. But first up is the shot put, long jump and discus out on the field. So we'll be
still not too much. So we're excited by what is going to take place today. So we've got you a little shot of this. We've got some long jump that's taking place in the background, as you can see. Now, I've got to say, from my experience of raking the long jump pit and a self-diagnosed level 4 raker, it is really hard to rake a pit when it's taking place. When it's raining. It's basically like raking mud. So we're excited by what's about to take place. You can see the walkers are just coming out on the track. So we'll just keep it on the long jump just while it's starting to get underway. So we can see the walkers are just about to come out on shot right now.
So I see long jumpers on the runway now. The first of our field events starting tonight, as Lockie just mentioned in front of the camera, are our under 14 and 16 long jump boys, as well as our para athletes in the long jump as well, the men, and also the shot put. I think it's the team shot put as well. So 2 throws. A bit of a different concept for that. So AIS traditionally put a lot of time and resources into training up the walkers up here in Canberra. So there'll be 10 athletes in that walk event, male and female combined.
And unless my aging eyes deceive me, I also see the Frankston coach Nathan McConkey down there.
And we can see on screen, Michael, the start list as they've come up. This one is for the 3,000 and 5,000 metre walk. So we do see Hannah Manning, Bridget Bell, Sydney Shaw, Owen Toyney, Sebastian Young, Isaac Sloan, Gwilyn Young, Simon Hosking, Timothy Fraser, Mitchell Baker. So they are your competitors there in...
Just a reminder, athletes, that your 30-minute check-in. Please don't forget to check in 30 minutes before your event.
So a few athletes of note in this under 16 boys field, particularly Itama Oren. He is a quite accomplished long jumper there. But he's also a bit of a thrower as well. He's done quite well in all events at the National All Schools in December. So he competed in the long jump, shot put, discus, and the javelin events. So he'll be one to watch with one of the higher seated jumps in this field. Also Paddy Coughlin, he was 4th in the long jump at the AA Nationals last March. So Paddy, a Victorian athlete there. 5 metres 45 as a seated jump for Paddy. So we'll see how he goes throughout competition. He'll be one to beat as well.
That's a 45-minute check-in. For 2 events, 30-minute check-ins.
Let me come back to you. Are you guys going to be around this area? I'll just have a chat with a few people about if they're happy for us to get you guys up down there or
So it was just Harry Anderson from Ginninderra, so the Canberra athlete.
And also we've got some sandwiches and biscuits as well as the options with all the drinks. We've got hot and cold drinks, and as well as the sandwiches and biscuits there at the coffee machine, coffee van there at the end of the administration rooms and grandstand.
So at the moment, we are seeing the men's shot put competition getting underway. This is both the men's 16 or under 18s shot put as well as the men's under 20 here. So we'll introduce our competitors in the under 18 competition. We have Colby et al., Mitchell Anderson, David Wilson, Jacob West, and in the under 20, Stephen Fraser and Simon Young. So they're your 6 competitors across those 2 age groups. We will be endeavouring to bring you as many field events and track events across the Coles 2019 Athletics ACT State Championships as possible.
And we'll be aiming to get a smoother reading of that wordy title as we move through the championships as well. Get all the sponsors and the state name appropriately in there in the right sequence. So big thanks to Coles supporting athletics in a big way over the past year or so. I think they came on board through Little Athletics and Athletics Australia as community partners of all of athletics. So this is one of those combined championships as well, with open age athletes and junior athletes all competing across the same weekend.
And it's become a bit of a hub as well for sprinters in particular to come down to enjoy the track that we do have here in Canberra.
And what a weekend for sprinters, Lockie. I'm looking most forward to Zoe Hobbs. She is New Zealand athlete, only 21 years old, and only a couple of weeks ago she ran 11.37 seconds over the 100 metres. And do you know what the current New Zealand 100 metre record is for the women? I don't expect you off the top of your head.
I guess you're about to tell me.
So this Zoe Hobbs, she ran 11.37 a couple of weeks ago. The New Zealand record is 11.32. So that's what we have to look forward to tomorrow. She is record hunting in the women's 100 metre. She'll go up against some of the best Aussies we have in women's sprinting at the moment in Mel Breen, Maddie Coates, Celeste Mucci, the heptathlete as well. So plenty of great sprinting coming up over the next couple of days.
So that's Jack Love on our screen at the moment. Great to see them talking to spectators. 2:45.
Looks like he loves it as well, Locke. And that's Tim D'Albrera, the athlete from South Canberra. So as well with these para events, we have athletes of all classifications competing. So within this long jump event, we have a few different classifications, some with physical, some with hearing, some with vision, and some with intellectual impairments, all competing for the same set of medals.
On the track, the walkers are all away, and the race walks are on the way, so please be considering the back straight over.
And it looks like they've jumped the gun, so to speak, in the walk. It's we love a program that is well and truly on time, and that is what we are so far at the ACT Athletics Championships, running a few minutes before schedule. So we'll read out all the competitors in the 3,000 and 5,000 metre walk on track at the moment. So we have Hannah Manning of North Canberra, Bridget Bell from New South Wales, Cindy Shaw from Ginadera, Owen Toyne from Ginadera, Sebastian Young from South Canberra, Isaac Sloan from Woden Athletics Club, Gwynlam Young from South Canberra, along with Simon Hosking, Timothy Fraser and Mitchell Backer from North Canberra. So what we will inevitably see in this race after 7.5 laps, some athletes will step off the track as that signals the end of their particular race for the juniors and the seniors, which are 6 of them, 4 for the men and 2 for the women, will continue going the extra 5 laps to complete their 5,000 metre journey. So we're 7.5 for the 3,000 metre walkers and 12.5 for the 5,000 metre guys. As expected, is a couple of our older walkers who are in the lead at the moment. It is Gwynlam Young, closely followed by Timothy Fraser, clubmates from South Canberra, who go through the first 600 metres. Pretty clear of the field so far. We remember with the walks, of course, you want to do it safe and clean to avoid any disqualification. So it's one thing walking very quickly, but you want to do it with the right technique. Otherwise, it could be all for nothing come the end of your race.
Isaac Sloan from Woden. Isaac's in the 3,000 metre walk. And coming third in the women's is Sydney Shaw from Ginadera. She's in the 3,000 metre open women's.
So being teammates from South Canberra, you'd imagine they would be practicing well at training. I wonder if it's Gwynlam or Timothy who tends to do all the leading. Maybe you might see a bit of Indian file going on as the race progresses. They might share a bit of the lead.
Still, it's William Young, still leading Tim Fraser with the 10-lap signal coming.
So going through their first K in 4:20 pace for William and Timothy.
Mitchell Baker from North Canberra is,
So they're heading for a time of around about 21 to 22 minutes for their 5,000 metre journey. Also up there is Mitchell Baker of North Canberra. They're crosstown rivals of the South Canberrians.
And behind Bridget is Hannah Manning from North Canberra.
And the first of our women in Bridget Bell from New South Wales, making the trip so far worth it as she's leading out the rest of the women. So she's another 5,000 metre walker. A bit on screen at the moment. We see our only junior walker. So Sydney Shaw is probably coming into this meet quite excited, knowing that she will collect the gold medal, but she's probably chasing a PB as well, putting a good time to her name on this pretty quick athletics track we have here at the AIS.
So our leaders are coming in, they're coming up towards the finish line, and they'll get the 9 laps to go signals. And do single figures here at the moment. 9 laps to go. That's leading the way. William Young followed by Tim Fraser.
So we do still see our competitors going around here. We do apologise about the clock just for this race. We can't seem to get it back up on screen, but we will keep you updated as they are going through each lap.
So on screen is Bridget Bell, followed about 50 metres behind Bridget is Hannah Manning. We have New South Wales versus Canberra battle at the moment. The two women in the 5,000 metre event. So Bridget mapping out them splits as she goes through that lap in about 7 minutes.
In both the men's and women's events.
Now it is interesting to see, we did see Bridget just there doing her splits on her clock herself. You are a distance runner. Do you do that yourself, or do you rely a little bit more on the clock that's provided to you at each track?
I used to be a bit of a stickler for the old race splits, and look back on it after the race, put them in the training diary. Now I don't really care that much. I like to know how I'm going during the race. I like to look at the big clock and listen out to coach on the sidelines, but yeah, post-race it is what it is, I think.
So we can see all of our competitors coming through there. So it is a mixed 3,000 and 5,000 metre walk. So some of them will be doing 12.5 laps and the others will be doing 7.5 here. So we will try and give you pictures of as much as we can to have 3 cameras covering this event.
So the leading couple of men have almost gone through 2 kilometres right now in about 8:45 pace. The clock reads that now. So 8:45 has just ticked over and they have gone through 2,000 metres. From memory, they were about at 4:20 going through the K. So they've slowed ever so slightly, but still in around that 4:20 per kilometre pace, which would in turn get them walking at about a 21:40 to 22 minutes, which is around the seed times that William and Timothy have entered. And we see a bit of a change in the lead. Hannah Manning of North Canberra just goes up on the shoulder and sits in front of Bridget Bell from New South Wales. So it'll be interesting to see if Bridget does sit on her back as the camera goes back to William and Timothy, the teammates from South Canberra. So they're going through their 2.2 kilometre mark as we see the clock tick through 9:40. As Timothy Fraser does a bit of a snot shot off to the side of the track there. Staple of a distance runner or endurance athlete as the walkers are. In their own right, I think the walkers are actually even more endurance-based than the distance runners, I reckon, Locke. Walking 50 kilometres and you're out there for a lot longer. 50-kilometre walk.
You definitely are. For those who aren't aware, our team is based in Victoria, so I do run around the Maribyrnong River as a bit of my local, and it is quite close to where Chris Erickson does do a bit of his training, so do see him out and about. And I can tell you now on my Sunday runs, he is going well and truly before I start, and he is continuing well and truly after I end. So,
and probably going at the same pace as well, Locke.
Without a doubt. So it's no easy feat out there. But it is good to see our two competitors here, William and Timothy, working together. Not sure if they're training partners, but definitely club mates. So I'm sure they'll be used to competing against one another.
I reckon they'd know each other. Just taking a stab.
I'm not saying they don't know each other. Maybe not training partners. Maybe we can ask them at the end.
We'll see. I'm actually frothing over this last few laps coming up in about 10 minutes or so for William and Timothy Fraser, seeing how the race progresses. But they've been on each other's heels for about 6 laps now, so pretty keen to see how this one's going to end. As I just stroll past Bridget Bell there, who is coming in second place in that women's section.
So Bridget's coming in with a 26:48 as well, seated time.
We actually haven't mentioned many of the junior boys yet, and they are probably with a couple of laps, 2 or 3 laps to go, I would think, in their 3,000 metre walk. So we have Owen Toyne, Sebastian Young and Isaac Sloan in the 3,000 metre walk for the junior men.
So going through in the women's Sydney
So this
Shore.
is Sydney Shore of Ginninderra Athletics Club.
So we are getting great shots as well throughout the weekend from a number of our camera personnel. So we've got Dave Armstrong, Scott Sidley and Isaac Agostino helping us out all weekend. So these are the great shots that you are seeing here throughout this first session, and quite a short session as well, just having about 2 hours of competition tonight before we do get into the bulk of the competition over the next 2 days. But yeah, as mentioned off the top, or for those just joining us across Athletics ACT's streams, either on Facebook or YouTube. We do have a number of events coming up tonight that we are looking forward to. Next up on the track after these walks will be the 400 metre hurdles finals. So for the open and under 18, under 20s for both the men and the women. We also have the 800 metre time finals as well. So a lot to look forward to on the track. We do have the shot put, long jump and discus going on as well that we will bring to you between events.
We do have some wheelchair racing as well come up in the 800s as well, like, so that'll be quite interesting to see, as you notice a fair few wheelchair athletes have come up to race the 800, 400 and 100 metre events, I believe, across the weekend. So pretty great to see an event where lots of these athletes come together, because it doesn't often happen in Australian athletics. So it is really encouraging to see. So that'll be a bit of a one to watch later on, around 8:40 for the men and 8:44 for the women in the wheelchair events.
So it's Isaac Sloan there just on track, as we can see him coming down. And then front of shot is Sydney Shore, the only competitor in the 3,000 metre women's walk. So she did just get the bell as well.
So as they come up now, these are our event leaders.
Isaac Sloan.
So it looks like Isaac is a leader in that junior boys event, I would have thought. That's the first time we've heard the bell tonight, isn't it, Locke?
Yes, it is. And we've got our two training partners, but at least club mates. They're just passing Isaac as well, so as he does go down to his last lap. But yeah, 3,000 metres, it's a long way to run, so a great effort by these athletes here.
As Sebastian Young gets a bell. Big weekend on the bell, Lock, this weekend. Lots of laps to be run in sequence. 800s, 1500s, walks, timed finals, heats. Plenty of bell here in Canberra this weekend. In third place in this under 14 or junior boys event, should I say, is Owen Toyne.
So Owen coming up there for the bell lap. And our competitors here doing the 5,000 metres have 3 laps to go. So getting closer, they've worked together the entire way. We can see William Young there at the front. Tongue out, concentrating hard, getting ready to go.
That is the mark of concentration, isn't it? Like your tongue out.
Couple of steps to the good of Fraser. 3 to go. This race has been tight and it's not over yet.
And the external commentator is getting right into the walks as we are in the commentary booth here, Locke. On camera now, Mitchell Baker. Backer. And 17:11 is the time for Sydney Shaw of Ginadera Athletics Club. And first, across the line, 3,000 metres.
He was actually second there, so Isaac Sloan there in second place.
Had already finished.
Owen had already finished.
There you go. On you, Owen. Walked so fast we missed it. So Sydney did, she was the only competitor in her section in the event, but she ran about 7 or 8 seconds faster than her seed time tonight, so I'm sure she'll be pretty happy about that. Coming through, Sebastian Young takes a bronze medal in the junior boys 3,000 metre walk event.
So Owen there, the Australian All Schools 5,000 metres champion there, who finished first. So a great walk from him. We do apologise for not having the clock up there, but a great result, and we do have the live results on the Athletics ACT website. So do be sure to check that out as soon as the race does conclude, because I'm sure they will be up there straight away. So great walk there from Owen in first place. Isaac in second.
So battle royal up this back straight for the leaders. Young and Fraser making his move. And about 630 metres to go.
Junior field event, not much on. I mean, I wasn't sure. I thought if we had it, I mean, we've got some quality out there. I thought we might have one with a better crowd. But, yeah, no, it should be good.
Couple laps to go for the 5,000 metre walkers, as we saw Hannah Manning just getting passed by the top boys there, and William Young and Timothy Fraser, the teammates from South Canberra. They're going to collect the bell on the night of bells here at the ACT Athletics Championships, presented by Coles, of course. And we've been waiting for it, and we're going to have a shootout on the final lap as Timothy Fraser gets up on the shoulder of his teammate William Young. Will William just hold him off? We will see over the last 300 metres.
So William's been there the entire way. Can he hold on? Or will he his teammate in Timothy Fraser. We had to work hard, finish off strong here with 200 metres to go in this 5,000 metres race walk.
Now Mitch Buck coming to go, but eyes now the arena to go past the water jump.
So it is absolutely neck and neck between the two South Canberrians.
20 metres they've got to go.
100 metres to go into the front straight, and they can see that finish line. They have to keep their form. They can't get too excited, but he has led all race. William Young, will his teammate from South Canberra, Timothy Fraser, pass him in the final metres? No, he isn't going to. Oh, he's done it. There's William claiming it.
What a performance, what an effort.
Timothy Fraser just comes over at the, where is it, the 4,997th metre to take teammate William Young. Who knew the walks could be so exciting, Lachlan?
How close it was.
12 and a half laps. Leading that whole way, William, and passed right there.
That's unbelievable.
Around the track and coming in is Mitchell Baker from Rockingham Gardens. One a very consistent race.
you do?
Coming in with finishing on the outside there in the third lane. Mitchell Baker finishing his race walk there on the track. And 2 to go for Sydney Shaw from Ginninderra.
So on their final lap, we still have Bridget Bell and Hannah Manning completing their 12.5 lap journey. Hannah Manning, 100 metres or so to go, leading out Bridget Bell by about 100 metres as she comes past the 200 metre mark just off camera. So we have Hannah Manning, 50 metres to go. She can see the finish line. Or is it in one lap? I have miscalculated my laps here. So Bridget Bell with one more lap to go in this 5,000 metre event, as does Hannah Manning. Oh, sorry, I got those mixed up. So Bridget Bell we have on camera. Now Hannah Manning has just gone past the start-finish line with one more lap to go. So I see the crowd warming up on the back straight, all the hurdlers. Lactic City later on here, or should I say Lactic Territory in the Australian Capital Territory here at the AIS track. The 400 metre hurdles could very well be the toughest event on the track. And that is what we have coming up in about half an hour here in Canberra.
Went to the doc on Monday, sent you off for an MRI. That night, actually, the radiologist went the other night. I actually had routine rounding at the time, so radiologist I knew really well, and he was the doctor.
And we see
Here we go.
our leading athlete in Hannah Manning coming towards the finish line to claim gold in 27 minutes and 11 seconds in that 5,000 metre girls event. Not too far in front of Bridget Bell, who has about 60 or 70 metres to go in her 12.5 lap journey. So finishing time for Bridget Bell will be 27 minutes and 44 seconds unofficial. Okay, and we are going to join Lachlan Rayner with a couple of our 5,000 metre men on the track. Over to you, Lockie.
Thanks, Michael. Yes, I do have the winners of a pretty exciting race there. 12.5 laps. You're leading all the way, Gwilym, until about 10 metres to go. You would know each other nonetheless. I'm sure you've competed together. Reliably informed, you're not training partners, but a great race nonetheless. Gwilym, we'll go to you first. A tough race out there in front, I'm sure. Talk us through a little bit. Do you like leading these kinds of races?
I didn't used to, and then found myself last major race I did, people going slow, so I went out ahead and won it. So I went, why not? Let's try that here as well. Didn't work this time, but it was pretty close.
Well, 21:51, and if it is that, it is a personal best as well. So you got to be happy with that.
Yeah, it's good. Beat the person I was aiming to beat as well.
Very good. And so Tim, our eventual winner, 21:51 as well. A great walk. Talk us through that race. How were you feeling? With say a bell lap to go, did you know you probably had it in you to, I guess, pass Gwilym there in that last lap?
Yeah, well, the whole race I was just intending to, stay close to him, and then towards the end, the last couple of laps, he really put it in me, made me work hard. But yeah, with a lap to go, I thought may as well leave it all on the line. We've got no cards so far, so may as well give it a go.
Well, congratulations. Well, it paid off, and a very exciting race as well. What's next for you? So no other events this state championships. What's next on the your racing calendar?
Well, actually, I'm heading off to Adelaide for the under-20 World 10K Champion, or Oceania 10K Championships on Sunday. So I just thought I'd come along.
So a quick turnaround.
Yeah, a bit of a hit out, and he made me go faster than I wanted, so thank you.
What's on the agenda tomorrow? How do you recover, or how are you going to plan for that race on Sunday?
Well, I'm just going to have a sleep in, do a couple 100-metre fast walkthroughs, and then get on the plane to Adelaide.
And Gwilym, what's next on the calendar for you?
I've got nothing major until the junior championships in March, which is nice to get a train up for that.
Well, congratulations once again on the personal best, on the victory. Thank you for making it a super exciting race there at the end as well. And you both worked extremely well together. We'll throw back up to you, Michael, for some commentary, I think, of some of these field events going on.
Thank you, Lachlan. And back on the long jump runway, we have the boys still competing. So as we said earlier today, it is the under 16s and under 14s long jump along with all the para athletes as well.
Coffees, you've got the coffee bean at the back there with all the hot and cold drinks, as well as some sandwiches and biscuits by elements to go to the coffee machine. Coming up there, we have on in the field there we have the shot put, men's 11 to 9, which is the opens. Manual trim, it's on at 7:45.
A bit of a lull in the program. I suspect that the officials just checking results either between rounds or at the end of the competition. I'm not sure if there may be a top 8 being formed here who might get an extra 3 jumps. So if so, they'll be calculating the top 8, allowing them another 3 jumps in reverse order. The best jumper will be jumping last as a bit of theatre and build-up, which means 2 athletes from the 10 in the under-16s will miss out on having those final 3 jumps. It's almost like the field version of heats and finals.
In the men's 11, 13 shot put under 14, 3 kilograms at Logan Samuel from Victoria. Fifth event's coming at 7:45. Those events.
So I actually genuinely can't see a single thing going on the track at the moment, Michael. So,
no, not a heap. There's plenty of people warming up on the back straight and making most of the fact that not much is going on after the excitement of the race walking events.
Recovery tights. So it's like you got to wear them on the plane and you got to wear them in bed that night after the run.
And one of the major sponsors here is the Walking Clinic. So given that we've just had some walks, we're going to go to a quick 30-second ad just on the Walking Clinic. So enjoy the next 30 seconds.
Life is good when you are free. Free to move, to live and to grow in your small steps and your big leaps. Life is about enjoying freedom, freedom in exploring new worlds, celebrating achievements, walking the unknown path and doing whatever brings you joy. The Walking Clinic rewards you with freedom in every step of the way so you can always move forward. The Walking Clinic. Feel free.
So we can see on picture there one of our favourites, or our favourite.
One of our favourites, or one of the favourites?
Yeah, definitely one of their favourites.
One of
on the
everyone's
screen,
favourites.
so Lauren Wells. So a 55.72 seconds in Canberra on the 28th of January, so only a couple of weeks ago. So he's in good form. That's a World Championships qualifier. So great run there. So we'll be looking to see how she goes again tonight. So 7:45, her final is on. So we'll definitely be bringing you that on the ACT Athletics Facebook and YouTube channels. So we've started our fourth round here in the long jump.
The Walking Clinic.
So it's Phoenix here on screen. We do get ready for our next jump.
Provide you with information about the services.
Paddy Colgan there from Athletics Victoria. You can see the recognisable singlet for us, at least, being from Melbourne, from Frankston. So has come up to compete in this long jump event.
It is a good little location here, Canberra, especially for those from Sydney and Melbourne, to come on mutual ground against the Canberrians, or with the Canberrians, should I say.
So it's Itmar Oren on screen here as he does line up for his fourth jump. So we've got our next competitor. So it's Joshua there, Petrovic. The black attire of the Nike kit.
Looks very sleek indeed, doesn't it?
Socks and all.
Petrovic means business here along the jump runway. All Nike as well.
Oh.
Hey, Superman.
So Joshua just looking at trying to see where his spikes did mark the board.
Don't know if they'd stand out too much amongst everyone else's spikes who have been hitting the board tonight as well. And who we have next on the runway, that is Joshua Kalotsi. So this is a straight under 16 athlete here. That looks like a pretty lengthy jump there from the other Josh. Got a fair bit of height on that one. Some real pop. Tell you what's impressing me about the long jump block, that old sweeping device that he got down there. It's not a broom, it's not a rake, it looks very long jump specific. I love it. And Jack Love, one of our para athletes. So Jack, a T37 athlete. T37 is cerebral palsy, I believe.
But he said it's been more of a European problem than Australia, so I don't know. No, I don't. Whatever's happened, whatever deal they've done, it's something in more Europe than it is here. And he said at the moment, I don't know what's happening. I don't know whether they're going to sell the whole company or whether they're going to sell it to the big. But he said there's a couple of companies looking at it for Australians.
And that was Leighton Lloyd of New South Wales. So he's made a bit of a trip into Canberra. He is one of our higher seeded athletes in this long jump event. However, that's just by distance. So once percentages are calculated, the medal will be presented based on disability, or based on classification, should I say. So I think that was a 5.26 there from Leighton. As we see Ari Gassini on the runway and just runs right through. Unfortunately fouls that jump.
Actually will be measured. It was behind the line, but clearly something not quite right with his run-up. I actually really do enjoy looking at these athletes go over and speak to their coaches or their families. It's something quite unique, obviously, to some of these venues or field events that do have proximity to the fence line. Coming from a distance running background and your track running, you don't get to talk to a coach or a parent mid-race, but to be able to get those shots is
it's a bit of a staple of the field event athlete, that constant feedback and technique development.
And you'll often see the coach or the parent, whoever it might be, filming, playing it back to the athlete straight away.
The age of technology we live in.
That's it, slow-mo and all. So our North Canberra athlete just jumping there 4 metres 41 for his jump. Harry Anderson here lining up as well. Great conditions out there as well. No rain, next to no wind at all as well, so no concerns at all for any of these athletes tonight.
Just to look ahead, to our women's and men's 400-metre hurdles events later on today. We have spoken about Lauren Wells a fair bit, but we've also got a few other notable athletes in. Portia Bing, she's an athlete, or a heptathlete from New Zealand. So she's come across for the championships and does quite well over the 400-metre hurdles as well, has quite a fast seed time. So Portia Bing will be one to watch in that top race.
A 57.11 only a few weeks ago, well, early Jan as well in New Zealand. So definitely in form. So will be one to watch. Portia competing against our very own Lauren.
Yeah, absolutely. And also up-and-coming Sarah Klein as well. She's a former World Junior representative over the 400-metre hurdles. So although pretty young, she hasn't minded on the big stage, obviously. And then another interesting one in Jess Gooley as well, has competed for Australia over 400 metres. Flat and part of a relay as well. So we'll see how she goes over the hurdles tonight. Don't know how much competition she's done lately, so it'll be great to see her on the track competing against these other girls.
So Paddy Colgan there from Athletics Victoria, Frankston Club. Do encourage you to have a look at the Athletics ACT website for the live results, so you will be able to see those results as they do come through as well.
We have the coffee van down there. Coffee's van at the back of the actual office starting on there is back of the administration building.
So it's Itmar Oren, North Canberra on the track. I believe this is his last.
He looks powerful, doesn't he, Locke? You can tell he's a bit of a multi-eventer. He does quite well in the throws as well. Those strong arms and that high angle of release, but what a pop in the long jump as well.
When you can see when the legs are fully out the front, definitely a sure tell sign that they know what they're doing.
Some wonderful sponsors here for the Carroll's 2019 Athletics ACT Championships. The Walking Clinic Podiatrists are on there tonight as a major sponsor. The Walking Clinic's guys provide the best possible provide care for the patients, which will everyone with dignity, respect, kindness, and understanding.
So Joshua Petrovic, our Nike athlete there on the runway. Checking out his jump, waiting for the distance. So 5.25 for Joshua there.
jump there we just saw on long jump runway 4, 6, 7. And that was Lloyd Layton with another jump there. We'll wait for what the distance was on that one if we can get word from the track.
We're about to commence the hurdles, and all 8 lanes are going to be used, so please be aware over there on the back straight that consideration is wanted. So we won't be allowing anybody on that back straight warm up while we're running the hurdles event.
So about 5 minutes away from the first of the senior track finals for this evening, it will be the women's 400 metre hurdles. Wonderful to see the 11-time national champion, Lauren Wells, defending her ACT title. Now she's won 11 national titles. I'm not sure how many ACT titles she's won, but I'm assured it is many, many. Very fine field. We'll introduce a couple of New Zealand athletes and 2 or 3 Australian representatives. So that's the first event on the track. It's scheduled for 7:45. It's the women's 400 metre hurdles, and we do ask athletes warming up for other events to please clear the track.
Alright, well thank you, and I'll see you tomorrow. Awesome. Cheers, dude.
So we see the athletes towing the line on the track for the women's 400 metre hurdles. In lane 2 we have Ash Horriban of Athletics Victoria. In lane 3 we have Jess Gullinance from Athletics Victoria. In lane 4 the local, the 11-time national champion Lauren Wells from North Canberra. In lane 5 Sarah Klein from New South Wales. In lane 6 Portia Bing from New Zealand. In lane 7 Jennifer Cowie from New South Wales. And in lane 8 Anna Percy, another international athlete.
With the World Championship qualifying, please welcome Lauren Wells.
As we see the crowd gets around the local Lauren Wells in this women's 400 metre hurdles. And we welcome the time clock back on our live screen.
That's it.
So we're almost in the hands of the starter. A mix of international and interstate athletes here. First open age event of the evening on the track.
It wasn't me out here, no. I got a marketing team that do it. Yeah, that's it.
As the athletes take their blocks, all eyes are on Lauren Wells in lane 4 in the dark uniform. And off to a strong start is Wells in lane 4, and she will clear the first hurdle in that pole position, and the second as well as they go past the discus cage. Sarah Klein in lane 5 is also having a strong run, as is Portia Bing of New Zealand, but it is all Wells about 5 or so metres ahead of the field at this stage. Portia Bing not too far behind, as is Sarah Klein as well. Jess Gooley a little bit further back in lane 2, but they might settle as they round the bend, but into the front straight. It is all Lauren Wells. It has been for the 300 metres as she clears about a 5 metre lead. Portia Bing is right on her heels though with about 80 metres to go. Sarah Klein having a strong run as well on the inside of Portia Bing. But Lauren Wells shows us why she is the 11-time national champion here at Canberra, clocking 55.49 seconds for the win. Followed by Portia Bing, our visitor from New South Wales, and Sarah Klein from, our visitor from New Zealand, and Sarah Klein from New South Wales. Lauren Wells, as she gets a massive crowd, massive cheer from her local crowd here at the AIS track in Canberra. It's an exciting run to kick off the, should we say, sprint events of the championships here following the walking earlier on this evening. The girls getting around each other, congratulating each other on the race just run here in the 400 metre hurdles. So that actually was the A final. The girls are just making their way onto the track now for the B final here, the 400 metres. Okay, and competitors in the women's B final 400 metre hurdles, we have Marsha Dunkell from New South Wales, Stella McNamara from Athletics Victoria, Lauren McAdam from Athletics Queensland in lane 4. Abigail Stefanovic from Athletics New South Wales in lane 5. And Madeline Powell from Athletics New South Wales in round 6 to round out the field. As we see the sun just popping through the clouds over GIO Stadium, where we do in the commentary box anyway.
400-metre hurdles women. Here is your lineup.
It's turned into quite a nice night here in Canberra.
Marsha Dunkell.
So the highest seed time in this 61 seconds, 101.53 from Lauren McAdam in Queensland. Usually the faster athletes are positioned around the middle of the track. So Lauren McAdam in the all-black Nike kit in lane 4. So we'll see how she goes in the early stages. Starters' hands.
So away at that first time of asking from the inside.
And as they clear the first hurdles, it looks like Stella McNamara or Marsha Dunkell even on the inside is clearing the hurdles first. And she does edge away the field by a few metres by the looks of it as they approach the third hurdle and nearing 200 metres in this 400 metre B final. So it is Marsha Dunkell on the inside. The hurdles make it easier to judge positions here. In second place, it looks like Stella McNamara and Lauren McAdam having strong runs as well. Let's see how they go when they hit the front straight. Abigail Stefanovic in lane 5 having a solid run as well, as is Madeline Powell on the outside. So it is Lauren McAdam, the early favourite in this race. Strong on the inside, in the middle, Madeline Powell on the outside in the red uniform, but this race is all Lauren McAdam from lane 4 in 61.31 seconds. So if that was a PB listed on the start list here, that would be a PB by 0.2 of a second for Lauren McAdam there from Queensland. So ignore the time on the screen there, 61.32 as the athletes cross the line with the big clock there in the 400 metre women's B final.
So after some rain earlier in the afternoon, it would seem like here a fit. We've already fine performance in the first two of the 400 metre hurdle, the women.
So we will turn our attention over to the next race here on the track, and it's our third women's 400 metre hurdle. This time we've got the under 18 and under 20 women on the track. In lane 2 we have Molly Sturgis. In lane 3 Charlotte Caluzzi. In lane 4 Michaela Cruz. In lane 5 Susie Douglas, and in lane 6 Olivia Yacono. So they're your competitors in this mixed under 18 and under 20 400 metre hurdles final. So it's our competitor in lane 5, Susie Douglas there from Athletics New South Wales. coming in with a seed time of 1:02 minutes.
So the next event for decision on the track, it will be a combined race. The women's under 18 and under 19 400 metre hurdles, and indeed the women's under 16, under 17 400 metre hurdles. In lane 2, Molly Sturgis, North Canberra. In 3, Charlotte Colosi, Golden. In 4, Michaela Cruz, North Canberra. In 5, Susie Douglas, Athletics New South Wales. And rounding out this field in lane 6, under 18 competitor Olivia Iacono of Victoria.
So we're underway here in this mixed under 18 and under 2400 metre hurdles, and it is Susie Douglas there in lane 5 that's off to a great start. She's catching the under 18 Olivia Iacono there on her outside, bridging a bit of a gap back to Michaela Cruz in lane 4, but it's going to be Susie Douglas out there in lane 5. Olivia Iacono doesn't have a seated time, so we're not quite sure how she's going to go, but Susie Douglas has the advantage of the inside with 200 metres into this 400 metre hurdle race. We also have Molly Sturgis there out in lane 2 that's hanging on, but it's going to be Susie that's going to come into the front straight in first position, taking over Olivia on her outside, but it's going to come down to these two as they do come into 100 metres to go. Susie's working hard, Olivia's trying to hang on, and we have Molly Sturgis there in lane 2, but Susie's going to go ahead as they come up into the final hurdle, but Susie going to go all the way. It's a battle for second position with Olivia and Molly Sturgis there on the inside, so it's Molly there in second place, Olivia in third. A great run there, but Susie Douglas from Athletics New South Wales, too strong, taking out the mixed under 20 and under 18 400 metre hurdle final.
At Coles, we're proud to be a major partner of Athletics Australia and Little Athletics Australia. To celebrate the partnership, we're donating millions of bananas to Aussie athletes and providing equipment grants to Little Athletics centres across the country. They're just some of the ways that we're helping support Australian athletes run, jump, throw and grow this season. Good things are happening at Coles.
And next up on the track is our men's 400 metre hurdles. So like the women, we have 2 heats, a B and an A final. So read out competitors. In lane 2, we have Matthew Fisher from New South Wales. Lane 3, Bryce Collins, also from New South Wales. Lane 4, Luke Major of Victoria. Connor Fry of Victoria. Michael Cochrane from, he's an international athlete, I believe, New Zealand, Michael Cochrane, and Harvey Morant from Victoria as well in lane 7. So that's our A final here at the ACT Championships. So almost in the hands of the starters, not quite. We go through a few athletes in this event. Bryce Collins actually represented Australia at the World Junior Championships in 2014. So it's Bryce Collins in lane 3. So he's worn the Australian singlet before in the 400-metre hurdles. Michael Cochrane from New Zealand, also a World Championships representative, PB of 49.58. So he'll be pretty hard to beat. Michael Cochrane in lane 6 from New Zealand, and Connor Fry. He is the national under-20 champion of 2017 in this event. So a few big names to watch out for.
Now the next event on the track will be event 1010. It's the men's senior 400 metre hurdles. There is your lineup in lane 2. Matthew Fisher, New South Wales. Bryce Collins, New South Wales goes in 3.
So actually is no lane 6 by the looks of it. Michael Cochrane from
In 5, also from Victoria,
New Zealand has given this event the miss.
6 maybe a scratching, and in 7.
We do have all the others from Matthew Fisher, Bryce Collins, Luke Major, Connor Fry and Harvey Morant. It's close to being an all-Victoria final here as we see the Geelong Guild, St Kevin's Athletics, Glenn Huntley singlets on track. Sydney Uni in lane 2 in Matthew Fisher I can recognise as well. Just as the sun starts to set over Canberra, starting to rely on some of the track lighting here at the AIS track.
So away from the inside,
As the athletes get away, and it is Fry in the middle of the track who gets an early good start. Bryce Collins as well is doing well in lane 2, as is Matthew Fisher in lane 1, the athlete from Sydney Uni. Luke Major of Victoria in lane 4, and Glenn Huntley looks to be the goods at this stage as they round the discus cage. 150 metres to go. Luke Major of Glenn Huntley in lane 4 is in the lead, closely followed by Connor Fry, the athlete from and on this hurdle as well, Connor Fry takes the whole field. 40 metres to go is Connor Fry from Luke Major in lane 4.
And then Major in second place.
So Connor Fry, Luke Major, and then by the looks of it, Bryce Collins and Matthew Fisher taking 3rd and 4th positions, followed by Harvey Morant in that 400 metre hurdle. So great run by Connor Fry, bided his time. And all of a sudden, just over the second last hurdle, just a massive lead change of metres in a matter of less than a second as he winks at the camera. And we may even get a interview at some point with Connor and Lockie. So I see the B final athletes starting to line up on the track, but we will throw over to Lockie Rayner, who has the winner of our last event.
Thanks, Michael. Yes, I'm down here with the winner of that event. A lead change right there with the last hurdle. Talk us through what was going through your mind. You had a little bit of a kick. You must have known.
Yeah, I just tried to stay open those last few hurdles. Really working on that last half of the race, so it's good to see that momentum coming through. Really hit those hurdles well to come home.
And talk us through where you are within your season at the moment. Have you just started, or are you building up to something?
We've had a few races so far. I ran a PB 2 weeks ago, which was nice. Another one again tonight. So Vic Champs up next. Maybe a track classic or two, and then nationals after that.
Awesome. Well, 51.62 unofficial time. You happy with that time?
Absolutely, yeah, huge PB.
Well, good luck for your rest of the events. We'll throw to this next event, but congratulations.
Thanks.
So on track at the moment, the B final athletes from Lane 3, Blake Dubé from Victoria, Mark Focus from New South Wales, Ryan Boot from New South Wales, and Stephen Dang from Victoria.
1.2 metre PB in a shot.
Plus an extra athlete in Lane 2 there that we didn't call, so we'll see how he figures in this race here.
So from the inside, it would be Fairweather from New South Wales.
And in the middle, Ryan Boot has got a quick start in the green. Mark Focus from New South Wales also running strong, and Connor Fairweather, the athlete who was unnamed at the start in Lane 2, is running strongly as well. As we look into the darkness in the back of the track now, it is still Stephen Dang from Victoria is running very strongly in Lane 6, and Ryan Booth from New South Wales, Sydney Uni, stumbles at that 5th hurdle there, or 4th hurdle, and it is a battle between Dang and Focus, and it looks like Focus will go into the last hurdle in the lead. It is never over in the hurdles, as we know, but Focus in Lane 4 takes the win ahead of Blake Dubé from the Ringwood Club in Lane 3. As Ryan Boot jogs over the line, unfortunately stumbling with about 150 metres to go in that B final in the 400 metres.
Davia of New South Wales. So that's your lineup. Third and final.
And in our men's C final in Lane 3, we have Daniel Carson. Lane 4, Stephen Lott. Lane 5, Benjamin Muston. Lane 6, Zach Stevens. And Lane 7, Julio Ruiz Davila.
And the gun says bang and they're away. Lane 3, it's Carson.
Off to a quick start in
Muston, Stevens, and Ruiz.
Lane 5 looks to be Benjamin Muston, the athlete from New South Wales. As they slowly merge into Lane 1. Looks like they're also taking their time there. A big spread of seed times in this event, so it may look like a bit of a time trial here as they are hunting PBs here in the C race at the Canberra Track Classic.
So it is Benjamin Muston there from Athletics New South Wales. In fact, all the athletes are here from Athletics New South Wales. Leading the pack, Zach Stevens there in second place in the full white uniform. So it's going to be a battle between these two for first and second, with a battle for third a little bit further back as they do come through the bell lap in about 56 seconds high. So it's Benjamin Muston there in first place, Zach Stevens in second.
Stevens just sitting on the heels of Muston.
5 from 6, Muston from Stevens.
As Dry Parrot did to Mason Cohen just a couple of races ago, should I say. So will Stevens kick with a few hundred metres to go, or a couple hundred metres to go. Muston is looking pretty strong as they round the discus cage.
The University of Sydney. They used to own the University of New South Wales.
So it's all Muston and Stevens as they come into the front straight. Stevens looks like he's moving as fast as he can, but there's nothing he can do to bridge the gap as Muston just gets further and further away, gaining metres and metres as he charges towards the finish line, nearing a PB time. He'll go through in about a 1:56 156.77 for Zach Stevens of New South
finishing
Wales.
under a wet sail would be Ruiz, 156.77. So that completes the men's 800 metres. And now we move on to the females.
So women's 800 metre A final on the track. Pretty exciting race tonight. Molly Blakey from Victoria, Ali Sanford from Victoria, Jayla Hancock Cameron from New South Wales, Keely Small here in Canberra, the club Western Creek, Katrina Bissett from Victoria, Gigi McAneeney, the up-and-coming superstar from Victoria, Isabella Thornton-Bott from New South Wales, Joanna Cubis from New South Wales to round out the field. In the women's A race here at the ACT State Championships. Keely Small, local favourite, the under-20 women's national record holder. Katrina Bissett, also one to watch, has done quite well in the season so far and has very quick seed time, the second fastest in this event tonight.
Also from New South Wales, Joanna Cubis.
And we look at Jayla Hancock Cameron as well. She has represented Australia before, so she'll take it right up to the top open age athletes in this event.
So from the inside, Blakely,
So you would expect Keely Small in lane 4 and Katrina Bissett in lane 5 to be out amongst the quickest athletes. And Bissett is just hanging back at this stage by the looks of things as they start to settle.
Now the running taken up by
And we just lose vision slightly of the athletes on the back straight. Katrina Bissett, the unmistakable short hair. She is right up there in the mix with Keely Small, the Nike branded athlete. The one with 4 on her right-hand hip. So it is Small, Hancock and Bissett, the 3 athletes mentioned on the start line. Molly Blakey from Victoria is doing quite well, as is Gigi McAneeney, and they go for their first lap in about 62 seconds, heading for around a 2:04, 2:05, 800 metres. Let's see how they round out these races. Katrina Bissett comes into the lead, 300 metres to go, Lachlan.
Yeah, definitely. So Katrina has put the foot down there over the bell lap, so she is starting to make a bit of a gap on Keely Small there in second place. So Keely is going to need to work hard to stay in this. So Jayla Hancock there as well, but it's going to be Katrina Bissett in second place. 150 metres to go in this women's 800 metre A final. Jayla there in second, a little bit of a gap back to Keely Small.
So Katrina Bissett, she does enter the straight in first place. Jayla Hancock Cameron not too far behind, but it is all Bissett's race here as Keely Small just fades back into the pack ever so slowly. It is all Bissett. What a smart race, 2:05.59, followed by Hancock Cameron. Isabella Thornton-Bott, a strong run in third position there. Gigi McAneeney, the 17-year-old athlete, very solid race. And Keely Small, the local favourite, so strong in the early stages, just fading a little bit in the late stages here at the ACT State Championships. So Katrina Bissett, very smart race, just chilling out, biding her time early on, and came through with the goods. A few hundred metres to go. Molly Blakey from Victoria on screen there. Very strong run. Very impressive run from our number 7 athlete in the bright green, Isabella Thornton. She charged through for 3rd position at the very end there.
So, and just like that, we do move on to the next final here, and it's the women's 800 metre B final. We can see it on screen at the moment. So in lane 2, we have Shane Hargraves in lane 3, Paola Lomchat in lane 4, Elise Aboud in lane 5, Bryony Norden, and in lane 6, Imogen Russell. And I'm sure I butchered some of those names there, so apologies to those athletes here in the women's 800 metre B final. So only 5 competitors here. There's actually a few more than 5 competitors on my screen, so I'm not sure what's going on with my start list here, but we'll see how we go.
7 from Victoria, Clara Bess, and 8 from Woden, Olivia O'Donnell.
So B final there. These girls will be heading for around a time of about the 2:10 mark, judging by their seeds.
So Wacker's first time of asking in the second of 2-time finals from the inside. Hargraves, Longshank, Aboud, Norton, Russell, Dess and O'Connell. Blanket over half a dozen competitors there, very tightly bunched as they charge through the first 200 metres. I think it looks like Clara Dess from Victoria, who's trying to steal a march on the other competitors. So Dess leads from North and it's the 1, 2, 3 as they approach the bell. It's quite quick. They've gone through in just on 64 for the first 400 metres. No change in the order with 200 metres to go. It's Norton coming around and throwing down the challenge to Dess, and then Aboud in 3rd. 7, Dess, 4, Aboud. So Dess hanging on at this stage. Aboud running strongly, so Dess will take it out. From Aboud and Norton in 3rd place. Unofficially 2:10.52.
Very strong run. Very strong run there from Clara Dess, the accomplished young Victorian athlete in the women's B timed final. So it looks like next on track is one of our wheelchair events, the first of the weekend. So we do have plenty of our wheelchair athletes competing over 100, 400 and 800 metres, which is pretty exciting. It's not often that you get a big crew of the wheelchair athletes all competing at the same track in Australia. It's actually pretty rare, so it is good that they come together for events like this and get some good competition, because we know that we've got plenty of good athletes who go in and represent Australia at Paralympics. There's a couple of our athletes do a couple of tricks there on the wheelchairs there. So in lane 2 we have Carla Severino from Victoria, Madison De Rosario, our Paralympian from Western Australia, Eliza O'Connell from Woden Athletics Club.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is the first of our 800 metre wheelchair events, IPC. Lane 2, Athletics Victoria. Category 234, Carla Severino. In lane 3, from Athletics West Australia.
So athletes have come from across the whole country for this one. Madison De Rosario all the way from Western Australia, and Carla Severino up from Victoria.
Woden Athletic Club, Eliza O'Connell, W38. On the outside, from North Canberra, Jemima Moore, W27.
So in the wheelchair athletes, it's always a bit of a slow start, the first few pushes, until they get rolling. But Eliza O'Connell makes the best of them. The athlete from Woden Athletics Club, Madison De Rosario, is right in tow though, the athlete in the white singlet.
They are burning up the back straight.
And now they are really rolling. They are going quick. It's almost like a bike race on the track. This is unbelievable to watch. So Eliza, followed by Madison, followed by Jemima Moore, into Carla Severino. So it might be tactics. Madison De Rosario just skirting in the drift of Eliza O'Connell. She's really letting Eliza do all the work. Madison De Rosario just waiting. She's literally waiting, not doing any pushing. Well, she's doing a bit of pushing now as she slips into lane 2 to pass on the shoulder with 300 metres to go. What an exciting race so far between the two. And Madison De Rosario, the accomplished Paralympian, says see you later to Eliza as she charges up the back straight. So is Madison De Rosario, Eliza O'Connell. A bit further back is Jemima Moore, the local North Canberrian, followed by Carla Severino from Victoria. And a look to the front in the white singlet. Madison De Rosario is putting the burners on now as she charges towards the finish line. Getting quite a ride in first place. 147. And Eliza O'Connell, second place in around the low 150 mark. Jemima Moore in third place, coming up to the finish line now. Those wheelchair athletes are amazing. They really get some speed. It's a bit of a dangerous event, even, I reckon. So you've got to have some, take a few risks, have a bit of confidence about you to compete in these wheelchair events. So it's quite exciting once they get wants to get rolling, although the start does look pretty slow over the first few metres.
So we can see here on the screen we've got our long jump competition for our under 14, under 16 and all female para athletes as well going on. It's been going since around 7:15, this competition.
Carla Severino from Victoria to finish her 800 metres. Carla Severino being Victoria.
So our final competitor just crossing the line there in the women's female wheelchair. 800 metres.
Carla Severino, the Victorian athlete.
Next up is our men's competition, and he's going to be lonely on the track out there is Jake Lappin, starting out there in lane 2, so it is only going to be
Men's event, wheelchair, and our competitor.
So a time trial for Jake.
Jake,
see what time he'll get.
He'll be a solo competitor in this event, so he'll be going against the watch. He's T54, so let's hear it for Jake the Muss Lappin.
You can see him here perfectly in shot. The lightest part of the track here.
Yeah, don't be fooled at home. It's getting pretty dark at the back. Straight still here at Canberra, as we see on screen now.
And look at the arms pumping there. So
that is quick. Wow.
So he's off and rolling here now. 100 metres into this 800, and it's going to be a quick. So a time trial here for Jake. Head down. 200 metres in, 26 seconds.
Keeping control going that speed as well. Like that is quite unbelievable. He's almost done 300 metres in about 30 seconds. He has.
So out of the darkness and into the light, Jake Lappin comes down.
So as he comes down, let's see what he goes through. 400 metres in, so 48 seconds flying through this 800 metres.
So let's see if he winds up for...
It must get extremely difficult.
Looks like he might be getting a little bit tired, but he continues to roll up the back straight. Let's see if he gets around that 140 mark, which would put him on pace for around an even split between his 2 laps. Looks like he is slightly tiring. 100 metres to go, as you would be. He is pumping those arms quickly.
So just 100 metres to go.
And he looks like he will slip under that 140 mark, I would say. 133, 134, 135 on the clock right now, and a 138 for Jake Lappin in this 800 metre men's wheelchair.
And certainly we are privileged to see athletics of that quality.
Okay.
Madison De Rosario, the winner of that last event, just doing a warm down lap on the wheelchair. Just trying to determine what this next race on the track is. A little bit of behind the scenes admin, which will get sorted very soon for everyone at home. So it looks like it is the under 14 boys event, with maybe a para athlete in there as well, as per the timetable.
On the inside it's Kent Lydia, then Myers, Kastner, Barker. Moving in good position is Kastner. The centre there, coming up behind him is Myers. He's going on the backstroke, but leading the way there is Kastner. Kastner's from Ginny there, and the yellow shirt has gone back, and come through there is Myers. In the bend. Darko really can't see them out. They've come out of the block shortly. But Kastner's come back into the first position. And the way's Cameron Myers and Kastner and Kent Lydia. Still Myers as they go in and got the bill out, and they've got about 300 to go. Still Myers, then Kent Lydia. Myers and Kastner, then Kent Lydia. And moving the field is Jet Barker. Give the 200 metres, it looks like it's Cameron Myers, who's opened up a handy lead in front of Ryan Kastner, then Kent Lydia, then Jet Barker. Round the bend with 100, probably 110 metres to go, and it's still Cameron Myers. He goes into the straight, up the track. It's going to be coming back, is Kastner coming at him? No, it's Myers. Kastner's making a late charge. It look like Myers is going to hold on and complete the 800 metres in front of Kastner, then Kent Lydia, and coming up the rear of the field is Jet Barker. The unofficial time 2:12.97 for the 800 metres, the under 14 men.
Now the young one on the under 11, under 13, under 14 race. It's event 1016, lane 2. Jemima Wilson, North Canberra, and 3. Ebony King, North Canberra, in 4. Heine Sophie Monica, North Canberra, in 5. From New South Wales, Olivia Greenhart, 6. From North Canberra, Tia Reinhardt. That's your field. Under 14, 800. So away from the inside, Wilson, King, Warnicky, Greenhart and Reinhardt. New South Welsh lady Greenhart, second from the outside, moving strongly up the back straight. On her outside is Reinhardt, North Canberra competitor. And these two stealing an arch from the other competitors, but they've only gone 200 metres. So Greenhart leads from Reinhardt. I think King in third place. So 200 metres to go. Greenhart from Reinhardt. That's the way it's been for the first 600 metres. New South Wales leading from North Canberra. So Olivia Greenhart in front. Reinhardt coming, but the lead is insurmountable at this stage. Greenhart will take it from Reinhardt, and Ebony King in third place, followed by Warnicky. So next, it's an ambulance race. And inside, it's Timothy Cabrera from South Canberra. So away 2 laps of the track, and it's Timothy Cabrera of South Canberra on the inside. On the outside, it's a mixed race. This is Brittany Beelby of Athletics New South Wales. Both competitors are T20, but of course you'll note that Brittany is a woman, Timothy is a man. So they've gone through 200 metres. And Brittany Beelby, South Wales leads Timmy DeBrera from South Canberra. So tightening up as they come through to hear the welcome sounds of the bell. Brittany Bealby of New South Wales, a step and a half to the good of Timothy Abrera from Canberra. So it's about 83 seconds for the first lap. 1 to go. Racing 2 here. A lot of honour at stake. Seen some tight races tonight, and this promises to be one. 200 to go. Bealby from New South Wales leads Cabrera from South Canberra. And here comes Timothy Cabrera. Oh, he sprouted wings in this last 150 metres. And is pushing on to a memorable victory. Timothy Cabrera, South Canberra. Great winner here tonight. Acknowledging the crowd as he goes through. Your applause please for Brittany Bealby, who was game from the start and led this race out. Well done to both competitors.
So I see the women in long jump nearing the end of their competition as the under-16 boys total on for their 800 metre event. So we have Xavier Quispus in lane 1, Jules Bacchus in lane 2, Hayden Todd, the highest seeded athlete at around a 2:01 in lane 3, Abshabal Noor from Jindera. Lane 4, Peter Vermillion in lane 5, Isaac Sloan lane 6, and Alexander Gordon in lane 7. All Canberra events in this under-16 boys 800 metre final. So Hayden Todd is a notable athlete tonight. He is well seated above the rest of the athletes in this field. In lane 3, you would expect him to get a pretty quick start. Maybe a bit of a gap on the field, or maybe he'll just have a bit of a play and do a specific kick. We'll see how this event pans out, but I would say he is the notable favourite on the line tonight.
3, Hayden Todd from Jindera, Abshabal Noor, also from Jindera, Peter Vermeulen. I think that 6 is no starter, and 7 on the outside from Queanbeyan, Alexander Gordon.
So we are underway here in this under-16 800 metre run, and it's our competitors there in lane 2. Jules Bacchus, who's off to a great start as they do approach the cutover point. They want to try and make sure that they're getting into this race with a good position. Hayden Todd there as well takes out the lead. So it's Hayden Todd there in first place, building a bit of a gap on his nearest competitor in Ashborough. As they do go through the 200 metres there, Hayden Todd out in front. Battle between our Jindira athlete coming into the front straight for the first time with Jules Bacchus there in third. So it's going to be a race down between these three competitors as they do approach the bell lap with 1 lap to go in this 800 metre race.
So Hayden Todd, as predicted, goes through the first lap in 60 seconds. If he runs a relatively even split, he will near his 2:01 PB. Abshabal Noor from Jindera is in second place, and right on his heels is Jules Bacchus from North Canberra. They are our top 3 at the moment. Hayden Todd is running for a time, clearing about 30 to 40 metres on the rest of them, as we lose them in the darkness of the AIS track here in Canberra. Hayden Todd passing the 600 metres in a touch over 1 minute and 30 seconds. Will he go close to that 2-minute time? Might just run out of legs at the end as Jules Bacchus passes Abshabal Noor from Jindera. He nears the straight as well. But entering the straight first, with only 50 metres to go now, is Hayden Todd. He's getting close to that 2-minute time, his PB. He might just miss out, running through in about 2:04.46 for Hayden Todd of Jindera. Jules Bacchus running very close to a PB there, as does Abshabal Noor, the Jindera athletes there. Charging towards the finish line also, Xavier Crispus in a bit of a battle with the athlete whose hip number has fallen off his hip. So quite an exciting race. The old underage, one of the first, actually I think this is one of the first underage events of the evening. Seen a lot of the senior events, the 400 metre hurdles, the open age 800 metres. So we did see the walks earlier today.
And we turn our attention now back down to the start line, this time for the women's under 16 800 metre final. In lane 1 we have Eliza Halia Lovic. In lane 2 Josie Lem. In lane 3 Skylar Robinson McAvoy. In lane 4 Lucy Hinksman. In lane 5 Mia Tui. In lane 6 Grace Reed. In lane 7 Alyssa Myers. And in lane 8 Jamie Brennan. So there are your competitors in the under 16 800 metre final.
Lucy Hinksman. 5 from New South Wales, Mia Tui. In 6 from North Canberra, Grace Reed. In 7 from North Canberra, Alicia Myers. And completing the trio from North Canberra, on the outside, Jamie Brennan. That's your lineup. Women's under 16, 800 metres. 2 laps of the track, unless I'm mistaken.
2 laps and a bit more bell action here on the night of the bell. The 800 metres continue.
So it is Lucy Hinksman in this under 16 race, coming in with the fastest seat time at 2:22.33. So Lucy's going to be the one to watch as they do approach the crossover point and do try and secure that position that they do want coming down the back straight for the first time in this 800 metres. So we can see them building into 2 packs there, the first 3 competitors and then the back to the remaining field.
Also prominent would be New South Wales woman
200 metres in, so 33 seconds. We do need to wait until they come through into the front straight so we can grab their lead. So it's Lucy Hinksman, the one with the fastest seed time, coming in just ahead of Mia Tui there in second place. Skylar Robinson McAvoy in third. So they're your top 3 in this 800 metres. So as we go up through the line, 68 seconds there.
68 seconds. If they run a strong second lap, they will head for a time around the 2:20 mark, which would be a nice little PB for the first few athletes there. So it still is Lucy Hinksman from the Woden Athletics Club, but right on her heels, the smaller Mia Tui, ticking her over her legs a bit quicker. I reckon she's just biding her time, and she does. She just passes Lucy Hinksman on her shoulder with gusto as she nears the screen at the back of the track here at the AIS. 200 metres to go, and it is Mia Tui from Lucy Hinksman from Skylar McAvoy Robinson. I love that name. That's a pretty wordy but good name, Skylar McAvoy Robinson. We look to 120 metres to go. Mia Tui, but Lucy Hinksman says, no, you're not going to have it that easily. She passes Lucy. She passes Mia back on her shoulder. 80 metres to go. Is Mia going to let her get away with it? There's Lucy Hinksman from Mia Tui. They've had a battle for these 2 laps. Lucy to Mia. Lucy Hinksman is just going to hold her off over the last few metres, and a 2:21.88 for Lucy Hinksman from Mia Tui. Skylar McAvoy Robinson coming in third position in this under 16 women's 800 metres.
So Series 2 of the Under 16 time final. Your lineup in 3 from Queanbeyan is Madison Gordon. In 4 from Woden is Lucinda Thompson.
Okay, and on track is our women's under 16 B race. So a bit of depth in the under 16s here in Canberra for our distance runners, as we see Madison Gordon from Queanbeyan, one of the first athletes tonight from Queanbeyan. So Madison Gordon in lane 3, Lucinda Thompson from the Woden Athletics Club in lane 4, and Erin Duncan from North Canberra in lane 5. The tall figure on the outside of the younger looking athletes. They're actually all 14 years old, but it doesn't look like it, does it, Locke?
No, fair size difference. Erin Duncan there on the outside, but it's going to be Lucinda Thompson there in the green. It's going to take the early lead in this 800 metre B final. So Linda Thompson there from Woden Athletics Club. But it is still pretty grouped as they do go through the first 200 metres in this 800 metre event. So let's see if they can hold on and group together this entire way. So 3 competitors, pretty tough, but they are working together at least for the time being as they do come into the front straight for the first time.
And we have lost the time on our screen here, but we still do have the trackside clock, so we'll keep you updated as the race goes on, as it ticks over 68, 69 and 70 seconds right now, as they're about 50 metres from the bell lap.
So Lucinda there still in first place. Erin Duncan through 120, and then Madison Gordon there in third position.
So if PB is around the 245 to 249 mark, these girls are in a good position to run a quick second half, or at least hang on for a similar time for their second 400 and have a strong finish. So Lucinda Thompson is the best of them at the moment as she bridges about 10 metres on Erin Duncan and Madison Gordon. The trio of Canberra locals in a night which has been the South East Australia Championships of Athletics from our mix of New South Wales, Victorian, Canberrian and New Zealand athletes. At the 600 metre mark, about 207, 208, 209, 210. The girls are going through and the clock is ticking over now. So they are still looking good for around a mid 240 to 250 time. In a colourful short, she has put on a colourful performance. Lucinda Thompson, number 720 from lane 4, charging towards the finish line, 70 metres to go. The athlete in Madison Gordon is chasing quickly, but it is going to be Lucinda Thompson who hangs on for a time of 2:45.03, just outside her PB. But Madison Gordon does collect a PB herself of around a 2:47, and Erin Duncan a strong run in third position there. Under 16s B final at the ACT Track and Field Championships presented by Coles at the AIS Athletics track here in Canberra, Lachlan.
Life is good when you are free. Free to move, to live and to grow in your small steps and your big leaps. Life is about enjoying freedom in exploring new worlds, celebrating achievements, walking the unknown path and doing whatever brings you joy. The Walking Clinic rewards you with freedom in every step of the way so you can always move forward. The Walking Clinic. Feel free.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, one of the more featured events of this evening.
And the under 18 boys 800 metre race. One of the races to watch tonight in lane 1. Raj Noor from Ginadera, brother of Abshalay Noor from early on. In lane, sharing lane 1, should I say, Sullivan and Bacchus. Lane 2, Daniel Dreher. Lane 3, Matthew Tayo. Lane 4, Eid Warnicki. Lane 5, Jacob Daville. Lane 6, Max Rosen. Lane 7, Byron Van Dyke. And lane 9, who I assume he is sharing lane 3, is Jacob Todd of Ginadera. We had a Todd earlier on, didn't we, Locke?
We did. So it's actually Daniel Dreher and Matthew Tayo there in lane 3. Not quite sure
how that start list, how that's all worked out, but it has. So a few athletes to watch. Max Rosen in particular in lane 6. He's one to watch from the Woden Athletics Club in all black.
So from the inside, Noor, Bacchus, Dreher, Tayo, Warnicki, Daville, Rosen, Van Dyke, Todd.
So they are grouped as they do go down the back straight here, so it does tell us that the pace is not the fastest. All the athletes are able to hold on, so we will wait to see which athlete does try to make the move first, and it's slowed right down here with 600 metres to go in this 800 metres, so it's going to be a tactical race.
We love a bit of a tacti race at championships here. It's not all about PBs. Sometimes it is nice to play with the field and get a medal.
Van Dyke leads out. Then Jacob Todd. Reggae Noor.
So it's Byron Van Dyke there in first place with Jacob Todd out there on his shoulder. Rogan Noor there. So as they go through in 63 seconds in this under 18 800 metres, it's going to be a battle on now. So a slower first lap, but Byron Van Dyke is going to lead this second pack. Let's see who can hang on.
Have a look at Max Rosen there in the bright orange singlet as well. He's just on the heels of Noor, and he is waiting to pass both those athletes in front, and he does. with authority. So we see Max Rosen, he's the highest seeded athlete in the field, and he's showing us why. From the discus cage, 200 metres to go, and he ticks his legs over quicker than the other boys in the race. He's getting the job done as he enters the straight in first place in 146, 147, 148 seconds. Max Rosen from Jacob Todd and Raj Noor, should I say. These all Max Rosen from lap 2, 158.92 is the final time. Looks like Jacob Todd in second position.
Great tactical race there from Max. Left it until he knew, left it to his strengths, and took out the win in the Coles 2019 Athletics ACT State Championships.
They're always most exciting, those tactical races. I'll take them out over a PB Fest any day, I reckon. Although, while we're talking about distance running, it was exciting at Box Hill Athletics Track in Victoria last night, seeing 5 of the big boys go under 8 minutes. So 5 people under 8 minutes in a 3K race, many of which getting PBs. So it is always exciting seeing fast running as well as championship racing. So, one of the final events as we near the end of the program here on Friday night.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. It's the
under 18 girls 800 metre events. Lane 1, Annabelle Scott from North Canberra. Actually, the next 5 athletes from North Canberra. So, Lane 1, Annabelle Scott. Lane 2, Emily Pess. Lane 3, Caitlin Murphy. Lane 4, Hannah Caden. Lane 5, Claire Solomon. And lane 6, from the Woden Athletes Club for something different, Zoe Malhirsch. From lane 7, Lily Oxley from Victoria, and lane 8, Therese Desalis from Woden. Yeah, one of the athletes there, I think in Zoe Malhirsch, was a bit unsteady on her mark. That's all right, not a false start.
So away from the inside,
and a clean start by all athletes in this race, and one of the highest seeded athletes in Hannah Cadden from North Canberra does get off to a pretty good start in the middle of the field. As we see everyone crosses the crossover mark, 100 metres in, of course the 800, 100 metres in lanes and 700 metres all as a bunch or strung out in lane 1, as we're starting to see the athletes across 20 metres as they have 600 metres to go on the track. So it's trying to make out who these first few athletes are. I believe the top few are all wearing that North Canberra uniform. Bit of a powerhouse club in this particular race.
Leads from Oxley, then Pease in third place, and then Solomon.
As Cadden looks over her shoulder to see Lily Oxley right on her heels. The Victorian athlete has come up, and it isn't for nothing. So it is Cadden going through the first lap in 65 seconds, followed by Oxley and Emily Pease, her North Canberra club mate.
So Hannah's going to take the field into this last lap in the lead. About 10 metres back to Lily Oxley from Athletics Victoria, and then another 10 metres back to Emily Pease. So it's going to be quite a bit of an effort to try and get into these medal contention positions here. But Hannah Caden there is striding away from the rest of her competitors. So she's going to go into this final 200 metres in the lead. It's going to be tough work to catch up to her. So I think Hannah Caden's going to take out the victory here. Lily Oxley there is back in second position, is going to be challenged a little bit more for that second place. So we'll watch back with our third, fourth and fifth competitors there. but it's going to be Hannah Cadden there in first place. She's going to go through the line here. A strong performance, a great second lap as it does approach 2 minutes 15. So 2 minutes 15, 1:08 unofficial time. As we do
Then Murphy and Solomon.
have a look, so it's Lily Oxley there in second place.
1 second PB there from Hannah Cadden. Her listed time 2:16, so 2:15.18 is knocking a second off that time.
At Coles, we're proud to be a major partner of Athletics Australia and Little Athletics Australia. To celebrate the partnership, we're donating millions of bananas to Aussie athletes and providing equipment grants to Little Athletics centres across the country. They're just some of the ways that we're helping support Australian athletes run, jump, throw and grow this season. Good things are happening at Coles.
And next on the track is the under 20 men, 800 metres in lane 1, Liam Morby from South Canberra. In lane 2, Lachlan Donoghue, his crosstown rival from North Canberra. In lane 3, Luke Gosper from New South Wales, one of the highest seeded and ranked athletes in this event. In lane 4, Tom Palfrey from North Canberra. Lane 5, James Barth from Woden Athletics Club. Lane 6, Ryan Blackwell from Victoria. And in lane 7, to round out the field, is Oliver Vidiak from
Okay,
North
ladies and
Canberra.
gentlemen, the ultimate event of the evening. This is the 800 metres under 20 for the men. In lane 1 from South Canberra, Liam Morby. In 2 from North Canberra, Lachlan Donoghue. In 3, New South Wales, Luke Gosper. In 4 from North Canberra, the exciting Tom Palfrey. In 5 from Woden, James Bartholomew. In 6 from Athletics Victoria, Ryan Blackwell. On the outside from North Canberra, Oliver Vidiak. That's your lineup, under 20, 800 metres. Thank you, Mr. Starter.
So we are underway here in this under 20, 800 metres.
Gosper, Palfrey.
Keep an eye out for Luke Gosper there with a 1:55.45 seated time as they do approach. And look at the pack, it's already starting to break up into 2. First 3 out there in front, wanting to get a good position. We've got our athlete in orange there trying to bridge the gap, and then our final 3 at the back as they do come down the back straight for the first time. 200 metres in, and it's pretty quick, so 28 seconds.
So Palfrey has extracted himself from the group and is leading at this stage from Gosper and Blackwell. And Jimmy Bartholomew's from Woden in 4th place.
So it is Tom Palfrey in first position, followed by Luke Gosper in the yellow, who is right on his shoulder. I think Luke Gosper is just biding his time as they go through their first lap in 58 seconds, chasing a sub 2 minute time here for sure. And we see Luke Gosper. Oh no, it's still Tom Palfrey who is that few metres ahead. James Bartholomew running strongly, as well as is Lachlan Donoghue from North Canberra. But as we look towards the front of the field, it is still Tom Palfrey, followed by Luke Gosper. Let's see what they can do over the last 200 metres, Lachlan.
Yeah, so you could tell there Luke was trying to get right up on the shoulder of Tom, but Tom successfully held him off now, and he's starting to build a bit of a gap here, so a couple of metres ahead, and Luke definitely has his work cut out for him as they do come into this final straight for the last time, and Tom is kicking down here 10 metres, and he's building a gap there back on Luke, so he has run the race from the start, so a great performance here from Tom Palfrey from North Canberra. 1:55.68 unofficial time. Luke Gosper there in second place.
Has got up, then Blackwell, Bartholomew's, and then Donoghue, Lockie Donoghue, and then Vidiak.
great race there. So it is pretty hard to run a distance run, especially a distance race from the front. So a great performance there from Tom Palfrey.
Yeah, it was pretty even split as well, about 58 odd seconds on that first lap, I believe. So
they do have very similar seated times as well, both Tom and Luke.
Good evening.
See there the celebrations as the athletes do come off the track. And Michael, that just about wraps up their first night, Friday night of competition here at the Coles 2019 Athletics ACT State Championships. I will get that by the end, but a great night of performances across the night with an even bigger jam-packed program tomorrow starting at 9:30 a.m. So we will be live streaming the entire day tomorrow, 9:30.
Yeah, big day tomorrow to tune into. So kick off with the field events for the first couple of hours, with the first on the track, 200-metre hurdle finals, and then it gets very exciting on the track after that with the first of our open heats in the 100 metres. So it's a star-studded lineup. We actually have 3 of the 4 athletes who made up our relay team at the Gold Coast Commonwealth Games in the men, and a few notable women to compete as well, Locke. So,
and you weren't here last year, but we did live stream that 100 metres where it was a near dead heat between the 3 athletes, 10.23, I believe. Rowan Browning did take out the victory with Jack Hale there, Trey Williams as well. So an exciting sprint program on tomorrow. We've also got the 400 metre timed finals and the 1500 metre events on as well. Not to mention a number of open field events. Discus, we've got long jump for the under 18s and under 20. High jump for the open. So a jam-packed program. We'll be live from 8:20 a.m. tomorrow morning, live across Athletics ACT's Facebook and YouTube channels. Thanks for tuning in tonight. We hope you enjoyed the coverage. For now, goodbye. Thank you very much to Michael, and thank you to the live stream team.